It is August 11th at almost 1:30 in the afternoon. Sorry, I am kind of out of breath. I've been having some contractions, and I'm trying to track them as long as possible, just because my husband is on his way to a job interview, so I need to kind of track it for as long as possible before I just tell my mom that I should go to the hospital. I don't know if I will be going in today, but I am definitely having a ton of contractions. They are starting to get more in a pattern of and some of them have been pretty painful. I can still talk and walk through them for the most part. There's been like one or two today where I've just been in a lot of pain that I just haven't wanted to talk, so that I can focus on breathing through the contraction. I'm having one right now, but I'm trying to finish everything on my list today. I haven't done a whole lot. It's mainly been putting clothes on hangers and then hanging those clothes up in the closet. But because I have to go up and over the playpen to get into it, because that's where all of the clothes are, I've had to do it a few times so that I could take Riker's clothes and put them and hang them up in the closet. And then because I needed to get new hangers, so I've been going up and over the playpen quite a few times. I've also been bouncing on my ball today to help me dilate. I think it's working because I had no contractions yesterday, and I'm having a bunch today, so I don't know if it's the real thing, but I will just keep adding on to this video. I'll let you guys know what's happening. I am really tired. I would love to take a nap, but I still have quite a few things that I need to finish before I have this baby, and these contractions, they're not going away, so it doesn't matter what I do. So I know that they're real contractions because Braxton Hicks, if you get into a different position or if you take a drink of something, that's normally when that's when a Braxton Hicks contraction stops. But if it keeps going, it means it's a real one. So all I've been having are real ones. I hurt. If I'm being honest. This is what I look like today. I'll show you. I'm only wearing a bra because I've been in so much pain. It now cuts off my tummy. Yep. I am really low, as you can tell. I am very heavy down below. I wanted to update you guys just in case this is the real thing. So, there's that. Hopefully this is it because I'm ready for baby boy. I really am. I've just been keeping up on stuff. It was really just laundry that I needed to get through. I've been keeping up on the living room. I've been keeping up on our room. I've been keeping up on the bathroom, on the kitchen, on Becky's room. The only other thing that I need to do before he comes is to vacuum every room. Not even every room, just my room, Becky's room, the hallway, and then the living room, just to make sure that it's clean for when he gets here. But I have everything packed, or I have the clothes put away, ready to pack. Same with the chargers and the laptop, and the battery for the camera, but everything else is packed. So I'm going to go finish what I'm doing so that if this is the real thing, I have nothing to worry about when he gets home. So I will see you guys in the next clip. Good morning, you guys. It is August 15th at 8:25 in the morning. Yes, I look tired. I'm just going to add this video onto the last video because part of the updates correlate with that video, so I might as well. So, I have a couple of updates for you guys. It has been a rough almost week now. So I turned 37 weeks on August 11th, but I had my 37-week appointment on the 10th. I did end up getting a membrane sweep that day. I forgot to mention that in my 37-week appointment update or appointment. So I did get a membrane sweep that day. And we were so excited because it meant that baby would be here soon. Apparently they changed what week is full term. So unless my water breaks or I am 5 centimeters dilated, they will not keep you in the hospital at 37 weeks. Now, the reason I know this is a couple of reasons. So, we went to my appointment on the 10th, and the 11th, we were having a pretty good day. I was contracting on and off, and nothing was consistent, so I just didn't really think anything of it. I started timing the next morning. because they were coming more regular. My contractions got to they were 4 minutes apart, roughly. And as I explained in my 37-week appointment, I was 2.5 centimeters dilated. So I didn't really... My mom was a little concerned, so she ended up taking me in to get checked. I did call my OB's office as well first to see what they wanted me to do. And because I was having contractions 4 minutes apart, they wanted me to go get checked. So I went in. To be completely honest, if I had been allowed to walk around the room within that hour that they were watching me, I honestly probably would have dilated farther. But they refused to let me out of the bed unless I had to go to the bathroom, which is so stupid. So I didn't dilate any farther, which sucked. And they sent me home because I was still only dilated to them. She is smaller. The nurse that I had has smaller fingers than my doctor. So to her, I was a 2, but to my doctor, I was a 2.5. So they sent me home because I didn't dilate any farther within that hour. I was still contracting. I just hadn't dilated. So I went home. I ate lunch, and I had bounced on my ball for a little bit. And I had to go help my mom clean part of her living room before they left on vacation. And she told me to bring my ball down so that in between helping her, I could just bounce on my ball, help me dilate, things like that. So I brought my ball down. After about an hour and a half of helping my mom, and at this point it had been like 3 hours since I had been at the hospital, I started having really, really bad pressure and pain on my tailbone. So I was in a lot amount of pain. I was still contracting, but I didn't want to go back to be watched for an hour just to be sent home. So I had called, my OB's office was closed at that point in time because it was 5. And I called the hospital to talk to a nurse. They said, since it's a different kind of pain and I'm still contracting, half of my lower back was in pain and then it went into my tailbone. And I was still contracting. They wanted me to come in and get checked. So I went back in, hoping maybe this was it. They checked me, and I was at I'm at 3 centimeters dilated. So I dilated on my own in like a couple of hours than I had in the hospital. Because again, if they had let me walk around, I would have dilated, which means they probably honestly would have kept me. Which is so dumb. I frustrated. They watched me for an hour, and they had suggested Pitocin to kind of get me started. And stupidly, I turned that down when they asked if I wanted it. So I honestly regret that decision, and I should have just taken them up on it. Because I was contracting, and I was in pain. I could barely even sit in the bed. I couldn't sit on the car ride over. So, there's that. But they sent me home because I denied the Pitocin. That hospital visit was honestly 2 hours. Because the nurse had to go and find the doctor to talk to him. Because I had dilated from a 2 to a 3 in between the time that I was gone from the hospital that day. Which is why they had suggested the Pitocin. We got home. It was pretty late. I was extremely tired. At this point, I had been up for 2 days because I had been in pain. I got no sleep that night. From the 12th to the 13th. So, day number 3 of getting no sleep. I was contracting all night. At about 8:30, I had hit the 24-hour mark of me contracting. I contracted for over 24 hours. So, they were also pretty painful. At about 9, they were every 2 minutes apart. I couldn't walk or talk during the contraction. And I could barely breathe, to be honest, but I got through them somehow. I'm so tired. I have not gotten a whole lot of sleep. Give me a second. My mom took me back over to the hospital. I was still contracting, still having that back pain and that tailbone pain. And at this point, this is our 3rd hospital visit in 24 hours. All the while, I haven't slept in like a few days. So, I'm exhausted and tired, and my body is having all of these labor signs. So, we get there. Because I can't talk, I was having a contraction when we got up there. My mom had told them what was going on for them to let us in. So that we could go up to the desk and get a room. They got me hooked up to everything. They checked me. I was still at a 3. So I hadn't dilated. Nothing. I am 80% effaced now, though. And I am 3 centimeters dilated, roughly, that I know right now. They watched me for an hour. I didn't dilate any further or efface any further. I was allowed to walk around that time, but I still had to be hooked up to the machines, so I couldn't walk very far. The on-call doctor, not even for my OB, it wasn't even for my OB office. The on-call doctor was a dick that third time. He decided to sweep my membranes again, though, and I should be getting a call today about setting up my induction date at 39 weeks, which is the 25th. I am in not active labor. I am in the early stages of labor. And it isn't until I hit 5 centimeters that I am in active labor. So they did send me home after that hour. They did tell me that because I didn't dilate any farther, they weren't going to give me Pitocin or anything like that. So honestly, I should have just taken them up on the Pitocin the day before because I was in a lot of pain. They didn't send me home with medication, nothing like that. Really frustrating. I got home and the contractions stopped. I did have a lot of pain in my lower abdomen, but that was it. Nothing else painful. My tailbone still hurts every once in a while, depends on how I sit. I have been laying down a lot because, one, I'm so exhausted and so tired. I haven't really gotten a chance to catch up on sleep. I slept that night because the contractions had gone away, but it did take me forever to fall asleep because the pain in my back didn't go away for a few hours, and the pain in my tailbone didn't go away for a few hours, so I had to sleep on my side. I had to lay on my side in order to try to get myself to go to sleep. But not the way that I usually like to fall asleep. I had to lay kind of funny. I'm just frustrated at this point. It literally showed me contracting, and I was in severe amount of pain, and yet, because I'm only 37 weeks, it's now considered early labor and premature labor. So they won't break my water, they won't give me Pitocin, they won't do anything to help it go faster unless it's medically required. I'm not gonna lie, I'm so frustrated because you could see how much pain I was in and you could see that I was contracting, yet they refused to do anything about it. All because I wasn't dilating. And I'm 37 weeks. Let me also add, because I haven't been feeling good, and I've still had pain in my lower abdomen, and lightning crotch is not fun. And because I've been so tired and I've just wanted to lay down, even though I can't get comfortable at all. Like, nothing is comfortable to me. Sitting is not comfortable. Laying down is not comfortable. I cannot find a position I am comfortable in, which is really frustrating because I don't want to stand, because I've been doing shit all week, and I feel like that's part of the reason as to why I was contracting so much, besides the first membrane sweep that I got. I have not even been bouncing on my ball. Like, yeah, we've gone on a walk, but it was the 13th was the first walk we had taken in like 3 days since my 37-week appointment, because I just started contracting all the time and ended up in the hospital 3 times in 24 hours. And it's so frustrating. I haven't even been bouncing on my ball, and that has been like the one thing that I've been excited about this time, because I have one. So that just kind of shows how tired and done I am. I'm going through my to-do list. I don't know if I'll do anything today, but she colored on my... I don't know. That's all the updates I have for you guys right now. Hopefully something happens soon, because I'm ready to meet him. I'm ready, so ready to meet baby boy. And he is right there. He is so close. He acted like he was gonna come before my parents left, and then I just like stopped contracting altogether. He's being a little bit of a he's already, I think it's kind of funny because my parents did this to themselves, because there's a good chance that he could be born this week still. Like, he'll still be considered preterm, which doesn't make any sense, because now full term is 39 weeks. So he'll still be considered a preemie, but if I go into labor on my own, I go into labor on my own. And at this point, I'm 3 centimeters dilated, 80% effaced. Who knows if that's not more than now, you know? I don't want to make it to 39 weeks. I really don't. I had a hard enough time going to 38 weeks with Becky, but under different circumstances. I was extremely sick my entire pregnancy and didn't get medication for that at all. Whereas this time around, I'm just so tired from contracting and being in pain. So, who knows? I might actually end up getting the epidural, because those contractions at 2 minutes apart were hectic, and I could barely breathe. I don't know how I got through them, but this is all the updates I have right now. Hopefully the next video is the video of me telling you guys I'm in labor. wanted to do an update since I had my 38-week appointment today. We have our induction date scheduled in case I don't go into labor this week. It will be on my 39-week day, so August 25th. Other than that, it's just waiting for me to randomly go into labor, or we have 8 days until we see, roughly, until we see baby boy, so I'm excited. It is Becky. I'm still only 3 centimeters dilated, and I'm not gonna lie, I did cry in the doctor's office because I just feel so discouraged. I thought that I had dilated a little bit more, and I didn't. So I'm still at a 3, still 80% effaced. I'm in a lot of pain today. I have barely been able to walk. I'm sunburnt. But we will see what happens. So stay tuned.